Well, Ugo Ikenga joins us next to give his perspective of what transpired. More than I thank you for joining us today. Now, well, you just heard Edede say, look, your group, no elections could have held, and so you cannot factionalize the National Youth Council. What do you say to that?
Thank you, Chamberlain. I think it Nigerians understands the part of this. Under Winnie, that produced Wole Ajani as the president of the National Youth Council. One of the stakeholders in the council then, Sin Akko, whose organization was excluded, went to court on grounds of exclusion. The court nullified the election of Ajani. And later on, there was a consent judgment that brought the two of them together to create what we had the NTC, the National Transition Committee, that had Ajani as the chairman and Dick Sin Akko as the deputy. The committee had 6 months, going by the judgment, the resolution, the judgment of the court, to conduct Congress. They overstayed 6 months, up to 2 years. That led to stakeholders coming together to convene a management committee meeting that brought about Akure Congress, 2013. But before that Congress could hold, the members of the Congress Planning Committee and other organs stopped the process. That was the one Henry Nwabeze wanted to participate in. When the Congress was stopped, a week after, Henry Nwabeze surprisingly announced himself as the president without following due process. There was no Congress, there was no accreditation. Up to this moment, he has no ESCO, he has no state chairman with him. Then later on, the stakeholders again moved in and called a management meeting to convene a Congress in Makurdi. While that Congress was about to hold, Henry used his gate man, James Ayabe, to go to court. James Ayabe never contested for the presidency of the council. Doesn't even have a nomination at the Federal High Court, which is like misleading the court. With James Ayabe claiming that Henry Nwabeze was overaged and that he, James Ayabe, should be declared the winner. This was a ploy to legitimize an illegality. While that was going on, the Congress was about to be conducted in Makurdi. Now, Henry now got a restraining order that said, since there is pendency of a suit before the Federal High Court, that the Congress should not go ahead in Makurdi. That led to the Makurdi Congress being aborted. And then a few days after, the minister then announced the PA to Bamanga Tuko Shandan as president of the council. Now also, because there was no Congress in Makurdi, a management meeting again was summoned for Congress in Minna. It was at that level of Minna that even the PA and was disqualified because of overage. Now in Minna, Abdul Majid was elected. And when Abdul Majid was elected, the issue of dependency of suit, Henry Nwabeze brought it up. But in order to cap it off, for all to understand, in 2013, a concerned member and a well-respected member of the council, Ozo, instituted a case with his organization called CADA, saying that all these purported congresses from Akure to Makurdi to Minna to so on and so forth, we are not in compliance with the constitution of the NYCM, and also against the judgment of the court that said the NTC should stay 6 months. Now, the court gave a judgment, a consent judgment in July 2014. This is the latest judgment in this matter. And I would like to read an extract from that judgment, which I have here, that all purported
Oh dear, I think we lost him again, and well, yeah. That appears to be the nail.
The nail on the coffin.
Well, yes, he did. He was talking about the court judgment, so yeah, it will be interesting to have him back to shed some more perspective on that particular matter, talking about pendency of certain suits and going down memory lane to also let us know how this had always been over time. Could you just wrap up on that court judgment that you were talking about?
Okay. The top purported congresses of Akure 2013, Makurdi 2013, and Minna 2013, which are products of the NTC that produced Comrade Henry Nwabeze, Comrade Shandan Yakubu, Comrade Abdullahi Mojid as factional president, are declared null and void. That all factional executives produced by the multiple Congress are hereby dissolved. That a new Congress Planning Committee and electoral committee shall be conducted to conduct fresh election within 90 days from the date of this judgment. This is it here. And that is how the 2015 Unity Congress was convened to resolve all these issues. I am surprised the way they have misled the public so much for a long time. In Abuja, Agora Hotel, venue of the rescheduled Congress, I want you to know that there's procedures in this council. It has a constitution. There was a management meeting that set up the Congress Planning Committee and the Electoral Committee that produced Comrade John Wakama as chairman of ELECO and Comrade Farouk as chairman of CPC. The procedures of election was laid down. Accreditation was done. Out of 104 VYO, 62 VYOs were duly accredited, and 20 state chapters were duly accredited. The quorum for a Congress is half, and we had more than half. And now when Comrade Herod Nwabeza and other people misled the police, I'm surprised that the SS and the police could storm the venue of Agora and held on under siege for almost 3 days. People are not allowed to go out of the hotel.
Let me speak about that one, because Nwabeza says that, that they actually notified the police authorities, and he circulated documents which had the stamp of the office of the IGP, and it was about a petition against Mrs. Elizabeth, Stevie, McCall, Omo Azugbene, and John Wakama Ichiozo for conduct likely to cause breach of peace, disreputes, condescension, and flagrant disrespect of court order. Are you aware of any such document?
Yes, I thought a petition, one of my encounter with the police, when I told them point blank that the election, I'm going to participate in it because the election is constitutional. I want you to note that even the judgment they are talking about, there was no judgment. At the level suit have been withdrawn. How can anyone be carrying about a restraining order as a life injunction to stop the Congress from moving, holding? I expect him to come with a judgment of a court that declared him president. There cannot be a judgment of the court. This is the only judgment in this matter that all of them that have been parading themselves and their actions are declared null and void. And I don't know why the police decided to play into Henry Nwabeze's hand. This has been his antics even under the Jonathan's administration when they do name dropping.
All right, let me ask you, so if, because they say that they were elected in 2013, and you say that's not the case, so why then did they have to wait from that time till now for an election? Oops. Lost him again there.
Conversation. I hope they were eventually able to have a two-way conversation.
Yeah, this kind of thing. That's the challenge you go with live production most times, sometimes I should say. But yes, indeed, I will always reestablish that one and let him shed light on that. But interestingly, he says he's aware of those documents that are being circulated here and there about this kind of thing. But he said that Henry was misleading the police. So, Ugo, could you go on, please?
A judgment that made him the president of the council. And like I said before, there is a substituting judgment that sent all of them packing and ordered for a fresh Congress. And that fresh Congress has been conducted, and I won with in a landslide manner. And if there's anybody who is not happy that Annie Kenga has become the president of the National Youth Council, I want to urge that person to take the path of a legal honor and go to court and then challenge the legality of the process that brought me into office. But again, ask him, where is his certificate of return? I have my certificate of return here. Where is the chairman of the electoral committee that declared him winner? Where is the Congress Planning Committee? Where is the accreditation sheet with which he held that election? Where is the state chapter?
Who gave you that certificate of return?
The chairman of the electoral committee is the returning officer. So who is the returning officer who issued him a certificate of return? And again, I want you to note, Youth Council is made up of two strong foundations. One is voluntary youth organization and the state chapters. Out of the 37 state chapters, 20 were part of this Congress ahead. Does Henry have a state chapter with him? Or does he have a voluntary youth organization? So Youth Council does not run as an individual platform. So what platform even brought him into office? I don't know if because in the past regime of Jonathan, a lot of things, a lot of mumbo-jumbo politics were played by some individuals because of their affiliation to people in power. I don't think this can happen under this regime. And I want to advise that it will be in his interest to stop parading himself, because this new administration we have in the Youth Council is going to pursue that content of what that he's committing and make sure that he goes to jail for this. Because he keeps misleading the public, and look at the level of embarrassment he uses to bring on the SS and the police, that we're all over the place chasing Congress, people who came for Congress. When the police should have enough time and resources to focus on gathering intelligence on how to quell Boko Haram in the Krazi region area in Medjugorje, but they're busy pushing Nigerian youth to make sure that...
just a moment, just a moment now. I don't think that we should get, into insulting the Nigeria police or the DSS. But, you know, quickly, I just want to know, are your members of political parties?
They are not members of political parties. If people have individual affiliation to political parties, it's different. But youth council is run on 2 branches, the state chapters and the voluntary youth organization. Some members of voluntary youth organization can have political affiliation, but those things are different. The main thing is voluntary youth organizations and the 37 state chapters.
Do you have any political affiliation then?
I have de-affiliated myself in the last 6 months when I started the contest to run for the presidency of the Youth Council.
So you were affiliated with a political party before now?
Yes, I'm affiliated myself for the purpose of having a neutral opportunity to be able to lead Nigerian youth.